there was a period, I don't know, 10 or 12 years ago when I became interested in photography. And it just was something that looked interesting to me. And so I got some books and I bought a camera and I started going out and taking pictures and learning about lighting. And I learned, very simple things. I'm not the world's greatest photographer, but once you learn that there are these rules, like the rule of thirds, and you learn about how the aperture in the camera works, and you learn how for lighting, you don't really need much. You just need one good lighting source. And sometimes you can use like a little bounce, or the difference between the way a softbox looks versus other things. And, spend a few hours a week learning about something. You do that for a year or two, and you understand it. You have a competence in it. And then you put that together with the other things that you're doing. And you say, okay, how could I use this in some combination? And for example, now when I don't really do them as much anymore, but if I do a live seminar, maybe I do them once a year or something. Hopefully we're going to start doing them more again. But when I do it, I set it up. All these things that I've done in my background, they all come, and I try to use them as much as I can to make a nice event and make it look good, and make the lighting look good, and make the video look good, and have the audio sound good, and get the right microphone, and all of these different things, and then there's all the layers about how the content work. And I recommend, this is a little bit of a tangent, but I always recommend that people try to learn future-proof skills, right? I call them future-proof, meaning like skills.
Evergreen skills, right?
Yeah, well, skills, when I say future-proof, they are evergreen, but what I mean is that they're going to become more valuable in the future.
All right. That's interesting. That's really
right.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a distinction that you have to think about for a little while. So, for example, I'm a guitar player. When I was in middle school, I played the trombone for a few years, part of high school, and then I played the guitar, the electric guitar. I'm a rock and roll guitar player, and I'm really glad that I learned music. My father was musical, but the trombone it's not really a very future-proof instrument. Okay, you don't see a lot of people on stage, right, playing trombone. It's not a popular instrument. The guitar, it's a more future-proof instrument, but I listen to a lot of electronic music now, and I try to follow the currents of music. I love watching the evolution of things. And the guitar, if you want to make electronic music, the guitar isn't a very good input device, right? When I look back, right, I wish that I would have learned to play the keyboard.
Yeah,
because the
exactly.
keyboard is the future-proof instrument. It's the one that gets more valuable over time, right? The more you do it. And so some things, you can get close, but I wasn't thinking this way back then. I was just learning skills that I needed. But then it started to dawn on me, look across life and think about what are we going to need in the future? What skills am I going to need in 3 years and 5 years and 10 years? And learn those skills now and put them together with the other ones. That's a winning strategy.